Why'd you make me do this, Captain Awesome? Why'd you make me do this? The biggest scam in the history of the world isn't religion per se, but the church is. They're the ones that ask for your money. With Christianity, one only needs to look at the example of Jesus beating people in front of the church with whips because people were buying their salvation through donations or whatever it was, and he didn't think that salvation should be bought. So therefore, Jesus strongly opposed against that. The churches that do it today, well, maybe he'd beat them too. Probably would. But that's of no consequence to religion. It's of consequence to the church. There's also about 1 billion million times in the Bible where Jesus says, give unto the poor, like give all your extra money to the poor. Like there's all sorts of examples. It's probably one of the things that he says most. So therefore, we can say from a religious perspective that building yourself up with all these material goods, be you in the church or not, is looked down upon by the actual religion. So again, the fault would lie with the churches and not with the religions themselves, because at least in this particular example, it teaches against that. It may not be true for all religions, but I'm not as as intimately familiar with the rest of the religions. So, and oh my God, you're out of line with the Buddhists. No, I'm not Buddhist, so I'm not gonna cut your head off. Don't worry about that. But most people watching probably don't know that the reason the Buddhists are trying to get back Tibet is because Tibet doesn't exist. It is under communist rule by China, and China likes to kill the Buddhists for being religious. And that's wrong. You shouldn't kill people for being religious, and you shouldn't kill them for not being religious. It's communism. Communism's the problem there, not religion. No. Religion would be a solution almost. If you look at their texts or whatever, I mean, if they followed that, they'd probably actually be fine. But no, communism sucks and is stupid. And China is proof of that. China turned into big bastards, and they used to be awesome. Because they had Buddhism. It's a great school of thought. Taoism. And to an extremely lesser extent, that Confucius crap. But now it sucks because of communism, and that's why it sucks. And, God. And him wanting to take back Tibet, I'm sure has everything to do with the persecution of his people, and not wanting to live in a temple because he probably does that anyway. And even if he doesn't, I'm sure he'd be noble enough to say, hey, if I could get rid of the temple and we could live back in Tibet again, that'd be cool. You know? I'm sure he just doesn't want his people to be slaughtered. I see news stories in the AP Associated Press sometimes about this continuing to happen, and it sucks. And that's just the news feed that, of course, China lets out. That's just what they let you know. And I'm sure there's a hell of a lot that they don't let you know. So there's a hell of a lot of persecution going on to the Buddhists on behalf of the communists. So you cannot pretend that the Buddhists are trying to take advantage of anyone, because they are on the stabbing end of the stick. They are on the shit end of the stick. And that is just what's up. And you, being familiar with history as I'm sure you are, should know better than to say that shit. You know who else wants an end to hypocrisy and religion? This guy, the most religious fucking guy on the fucking site that isn't a moron. As an intelligent, religious person, I do not hate you or atheists. You go ahead and you bring down those churches. I'll be stabbing bitches right there to the left or right of you. The overgeneralizing here is unwarranted. Religions are fine. Churches fuck up the religions. Happens in like every fucking religion. Especially Christianity. Some radical douchebag fucking interprets the faith in a way that was not meant to, They turn it into something it's not. That is the problem. It's not religion. It's people. People are the problem, and they'll hijack anything to get what they want. They'll hijack secularism. They'll hijack atheism. Amazing atheist. Sorry. Amazing. I mean, yeah. Anyways, they'll hijack patriotism. They'll hijack nationalism. Whatever. Racism. You know. All that stuff's been done. Think Nazis. So the problem is not religion. The problem is people.